Friday Night Monster of Monsters is probably my favorite Friday Night Funkin' mod ever made. There is just so much I love about this mod. From its story, to the fact that it's Godzilla, to the fact that there's so much good pixel art, and especially love the songs. So I decided to make a ranking video, tier listing all of the songs that are present in Friday Night Monster of Monsters as of the Pathos Attack update. Of course, this will be my opinion, and thus not everyone is going to be as based as I am, so you can leave any rude comments about my trash taste in the comment section down below. Nonetheless, I was inspired to make this by other people who make Friday Night Funkin' reviews, and thus thought that rather than talking about it in their comment section, might as well just make my own video. Nonetheless, let's get onto the ranking. As it goes, tiers go from F tier being absolute dog shit to S tier, which means it's the best thing since sliced bread. And then SS tier is reserved for the songs that I think truly put this mod on the map in terms of the greater scope of Friday Night Funkin' community mods. But regardless, let's start at F tier. Tryptophobia is probably the worst song in this mod, and I feel like other people might have a similar sentiment. They would probably call this one of the weaker songs of the mod, but me personally, I hate this thing. This thing had so much going for it. It had the trigger warning at the start. It had the two songs before it that we'll see later. And it had so much momentum building up to it that this song drops the ball on. For starters, it has a very underwhelming beat. A trash beat, so to say. Another thing is that, although the chromatic does sound cool, I feel like it's wasted here, and it just fails to give off that unsettling vibe that it's trying to give off with the chromatic and the instrumental. And as I'm an art guy, I'm probably gonna give off a few nitpicks about the art. The backgrounds and sprites here, yes, they do look like they're pulled directly from the game, but that's not really a good thing, because with a lot of the other backgrounds, those go really, really hard. And like the sprites especially, some sprites are changed to fit the songs as well, but here they're just not for some reason. Like, I feel like a few additional sprites could have done this song a bit more justice, but unfortunately it just doesn't. One thing I will say is that it does also have a missed opportunity to have both the original voice and the new voice playing at the same time. But then again, you'd have to totally rework the way that the song is structured to conform to that. So all in all, yes, this is the only F tier song in this mod. Dead Cells. If I'm gonna be honest, I think I hate Dead Cells, but also kind of love it. It's a love-hate relationship that places it firmly in D tier. Spoiler alert for the rest of the video, Biowar is ahead of this song. Let's just put it in that way. But, I mean, what can you say? There's like 20 other songs, and this is the second worst one, so in my opinion, I have to say, contractually. As for the joke at the start, I think that Biolante's chromatic in this sounds like the Dinosaur Planet Oviraptor in a derogatory fashion. It should be offended that I think that. Dinosaur Planet voice goes hard as shit. Here, it is ass. It just is shit. But there are some redeeming factors to this song that keep it above F tier. For starters, it has an instrumental that goes hard. And honestly, I'm kind of glad that they kept this song in the mod. Like, they could have easily just buried it deeper, but no, instead they just bit the bullet and put in a third Biolante song. And while I do rank it at D, I'm still kind of happy that it is in the mod, because that just makes what we have and what is officially the Biolante second song just that much better. I would like to also go on record saying that if they decide to use the chromatic that is used in BioWar here, I think this could be a really good song. Like, the only thing holding this song back is Biolante's chromatic. And we'll get to Biolante's chromatic in BioWar when we get there. Give Biolante the chromatic that she has in BioWar, and I think this song could easily be an A tier. Maybe a B tier, maybe even high A. But as is, D tier purgatory.
Zicky Booble Beeble Me for Bogos Binted.
Photos printed?
What?
Alright, I gotta make this quick. Martian Clash is only 1 minute and 9 seconds long. That is probably the shortest song on my Friday Night Funkin' playlist of over 600 songs. If you're gonna ask for what was the longest, probably Unbeatable, but like, how can you beat 10 minutes? Bro, I can play Martian Clash 9 times in the times it takes to finish Unbeatable once. That's insane. Anyways, those last 30 seconds of the song are really good, and really makes me wish that we have more of that song. If that beat continues for another minute and a half, I think we could have like a good B or A tier song on our hands. But as is, like, it's too short to really amount to anything on this list, and it's, again, stuck in D tier purgatory. Alright, I'm gonna keep this one short, but for a totally different reason. Before, it was because the song was short. Now, it's because, well, we're gonna listen to this song again. Later. I won't tell you when, but we will. Anyways, Zephyr, Earth Mix. I feel like Godzilla is at his best. This version is made by Scrumbo specifically, who also made Alamesia. That is just funny to me. In Zephyr Earth, Dagora, when it's in the colony form, I feel like it sounds a little bit too weird, and this song is just too short for me. Gee, if only this song was, oh, I don't know, a minute longer. There's definitely the DNA, get it, of a better song in there, but as is, it's too short to really amount to anything, which is a trend that I am saying. I keep on saying as is. Chat, make a count. In the comments, tell me how many times I say as is. This is a call out post to me.
What happened to your face? And I looked him dead in the eye and I said,
And here we have Forlorn Colossus. For what it's worth, it is definitely a better Matango song than Tryptophobia. Like, leagues better. Tryptophobia cannot hold a candle to this. But that doesn't really help the fact that it's in C tier. My main critique of the song is that it starts out pretty weak. Like, even though it does the form change halfway through the song, it's not really setting it up that well. Mainly because that first half is like so mid that when you get to the better second half of the song, you really just remember the first half because that's really the most memorable part of the song, unfortunately. But like once it does transform, the song gets pretty good. And I think like just the effect of its jaw getting destroyed is a cool reference to the original game based on the creepypasta. Another issue with the song is that I think it ends too early. It doesn't really take advantage of what that second phase can do. It's given too little to work with because of how long that first phase takes. But all in all, I think that this song has a bit of potential, and I would not mind it getting extended. Like, it's a 2-minute song. Like, if your song is 2 minutes and someone feels like it could use more, it could probably use more. If you are not too keen on the reference like I was when I first listened to this song, basically, Paradigm is a song based on Finger Bones, which is a modded version of Godzilla NES that is like totally remade from the ground up, other than stuff like the movement and coding system. Mainly, I'm not all too keen on modding. All I do is just play the mod, not actually make them. Paradigm as a song is pretty cool. The reference, the fact that it's referencing Finger Bones, is also pretty neat. Paradigm starts out pretty good. I really like the chromatics for both Pete and Worm, the two characters that are fighting, Pete being the red guy, Worm being the green guy, and also the player character. And like just the backgrounds and the sprite work in general in this mod, this song specifically, is really good. Like, I was kind of taken out of it, and I kind of got used to it pretty quick because it just looks really, really good. It's like nothing you've seen in the regular game. But unfortunately, we come to the reason why I ranked it so low, and by low I mean in C tier, and that being the second half of the song with that blue demon coming in. Why is this guy screaming? Why is this chromatic just screaming? This pains me because they're substituting the screaming for an actual voice, which was had by Pede. Why are you doing this to me? You had a really good song in the first half. Maybe if it... And then, like, I don't know why, but Pete also turned into a monster. I'm not too keen on the lore. Anyways, it's just sucks because, like, they could have had a really good song, and then instead of having the natural chromatic, the demon just screams. So, if you only have half of a good song, I cannot rank you any higher than C tier. Looks like we have 10 seconds left, so... God. What was it? The health bar looks pretty cool. Yeah.
Godzilla! It looks like Godzilla, but due to international copyright laws, it's not. Still, we should run like it is Godzilla! Though it isn't.
Why did I rank massive nuclear aggressors in C tier? Allow me to bring you my list. Number 1. Zilla and Godzilla feel a bit off in this song. And by in this song, I feel like it's most of the song. Number 2. I wish that the instrumental was stronger, because the instrumental has only 3 instruments in it. Vocals, which are only there for a small bit of the song, electric guitar, and drums. Why not just add 2 more? Add in just anything else. Try to make a metal song first before making a Friday Night Funkin' song. Number 3. It goes way too fast that I kinda just disassociate from the song. Allow me to picture it to you like this. You're going in a car, and it's going at 30 miles an hour. You jump up to 100 miles an hour, and then back down to 30 miles an hour. That moment that you're going 100 miles an hour is gonna feel faster than if you were going 100 miles an hour the whole time. Because it's that change in pace that really matters. It's not about going fast, it's about making it feel like the song is going fast. The song just starts you out at 100 miles an hour, keeps going, drops you down to 60, and then back up to 100. And that moment when you drop down to 60 onward is really good. I like that. But like that first bit where it's just no holds barred, just gas to the pedal, that's it. It just doesn't really feel right to me. Most I can give this song is that at least half of it is good. At least I like half of it. And all in all, I kind of do like the fact that Godzilla and Zilla have a metal song. I myself am a metal enjoyer. I can show you the myriad of dinosaur AMVs I have to Skillet, 3D's Grace. You name it, I have it. Maybe. Whatever. Acrocanthosaurus tribute, my beloved. But like this just doesn't do it for me because it just needs a little bit more to it to really feel strong. And now we have the first of Gizora's songs with Amoeba. To start it out on a negative note, my main issue with this song is how crushed Godzilla sounds. And that is the only negative I have of the song. What I like about this song is that Gizora sounds really good and will continue to sound really good as we keep going through its songs. Regardless, I really like this song because, to kind of foreshadow a little bit, Gizora and Maguire kind of go through similar arcs with their 3 main songs. Like, Gizora sounds alien in its song, and continues to sound alien, but in different ways. In Amoeba, the way that it sounds is like very, like you're encountering an alien monster. And just that battle theme just really goes hard. It's kind of just a bop to listen to. Another thing I should clarify, this is a V2 song, and if I had to tell you, I like V2 more than I like V1. I mean, what can you say? V1 was made 3 years ago. You can't expect someone to like a piece of art they made from 3 years ago. I hate art that I made 1 year ago.
your scroll drive online as the diodes spike up my metal spine. I can see where you're coming from when your receptors blink and your servos hum. So overclocked, I don't know my name. There's something wrong in my core mainframe. Don't you know that I'll take it to a higher place as we meet on the floor and we interface?
I am going to keep it 100 with you. Maguire needed this song because it sets up its character so well. Remember when I said that Ghidorah and Maguire go through similar arcs and how they kind of reflect that through their music? Well, in Amoeba, Ghidorah was like the encounter phase of an alien monster. Here, in Mysterion, it's like the encounter phase of an alien mech. And that robotic digital feel is exactly what Maguire needed, because that is not seen in Bad Signal. God, it's just so good. Like, as a wise man once said, there are two tiers, S and F. And I'm telling you what, Mysterion is a lot closer to being an S than in being an F. Hopefully this does not start a trend where I am constantly comparing Maguire and Ghidorah. My main issue is that it ends on a weird beat and it feels too short. If only those two things could be fixed.
It's Among Us!
And now we have the first of Matango's good songs, starting with Spawn. Here's what I don't like about Spawn. Why is it so long? God, I was just complaining about how Mysterion was too short. Now I'm complaining about how long Spawn is. Who decided it was a good idea to give all the time to the mushroom guy, but not to the main characters of this update? Anyways, finally I can talk about how good Matango sounds in these two songs, the later being Boletos Mons. It sounds really good. I love the way that Matango sounds because it feels alien, it feels weird, it feels buggy, but that's what I like about it. It sounds like nothing you've seen before, but also good. Unlike a certain other mushroom song that comes from this mod. Guys, yeah, I'm talking about Tryptophobia. It sounds so much better than in Tryptophobia. Tryptophobia is a disappointment to the entire world. God, honestly, that 3-minute timer is both a blessing and a curse because, like, playing through it feels like a slog, but talking through it, it goes through in no time. Yep. And honestly, the like intro bit and the outro bit, it just feels like half of the runtime is me waiting for stuff to happen. And God, it's like, especially at the end, I'm waiting for my FC to get messed up because I know I'm gonna fuck up the timing before the song ends, and I'm gonna have to replay the whole song over again. You wanna know why? Because it happened. When recording the content for this video, it happened. I had to replay the song again and make sure I full comboed it because I am not giving you guys an incomplete experience. You're going to have to wait until, like, I don't know, Collision for that, when the ghost tapping is disabled and I'm put in jeopardy. But I did rank this song an A. And I only talked about how I thought about the chromatic. So why is it ranked an A and not B? God, that last bit when the Matango hive gets destroyed goes so damn hard. I would listen to this song again and again if I could just listen to that song, that part, more and more. And like I have for a while, it was on my YouTube mix, and God, it just sounds so good.
I cannot hold it in anymore. I just wanna,
Grieving, or Osmodians if you are a man of culture, has this really nice somber vibe to it. I said this before when, like, in Tryptophobia, that the vibe doesn't really always stick, but here it's different, and here it does work because it just tells a whole story in and of itself. Like, you're just there questioning, why is this dude crying on his gay rock, and what is that guy doing there? Why is that rock guy coming out? Like, bro, that's the perfect power couple. Guy who likes rock and guy who is rock. Perfect couple. Anyways, Grieving is just a really nice song to just sit back, relax, and listen to, really. Red TV did a really good job at just capturing the somber nature of being the last of your kind. Even though in Godzilla Replay the game, it's not. It's just crying because it's sad boy hours. Because there's actually other enemies that are just like Griever. I mean, I think so at least. I haven't played it, but I've seen gameplay of it, so whatever. I'll bring up the game again and again at some points throughout this video, but for now, like, this is probably the first time. Anyways, yeah, Grieving is pretty good. It's just chill song to just relax. Just a chill song who just low-key don't give a fuck. The ending especially is just really good. Like, that ending hits really hard because it just ends on such a nice beat. I criticized a lot of the songs before for ending on a really weird spot, but here is probably the only time when, like, one of these songs ends on the perfect spot. I think my main issue with the song is just, why is the rock guy there? You could have given him a better chromatic, but I mean, at some points it does sound nice, at least. I can give it credit. It's not like in Paradigm where the Blue Demon just sound like ass the entire time. At least here, the rock guy does have some bits of really good voice work. Another negative would be it just does feel kind of long and pretty repetitive. Or not really repetitive, more just long. Again, I define this as the perfect song to just chill out to, or just to put on when you're driving your car. That doesn't really translate well to gameplay because you can't play and drive. I've tried it, and I mean, I didn't get into a crash, but like, the bit sucks. The show sucks. Whatever. Just rank this guy in A tier. That's it.
Life is like a video game, trying hard to beat the stage, all while I am still collecting coins.
American Port, the first of 2 joke songs that were released in the Madden Attack update 2 years ago. God, this has been going on for a while. Anyways, American Port, in my opinion, is a pretty good song. What I like about this song is the fact that, one, this is the only song in the mod to have Boyfriend in it, which is inherently funny because you play as Godzilla for so long, you get to free play, and now you're playing as Boyfriend against Godzilla for only one song and one song only. I swear I'm not leading into anything. It's just a really nice beat as well. Especially when Boyfriend stacks his vocals on top of each other. I love it when musicians do that, to stack characters' vocals. to imply power. It just works really well. And Godzilla here especially sounds good, especially because he isn't really restricted to having to copy another monster's notes. Now he can freestyle all he wants, which you never really get in this mod. My main dislike of this song, and the reason why it's an A tier, is that it kind of goes on for a bit too long. Remember when I said C tier was purgatory for songs that are half finished? The same applies here, but it gets A tier because at least it sounds good throughout the song rather than only half the song. It's just that the second half of the song doesn't really fit the tone that the first half sets up. Regardless, American Fort is a pretty good song, and I feel like it deserves a spot in A tier. Here we have Stray. Remember when in Osmodians, aka Grieving, when I said that it goes for a somber vibe that it hits? So does Stray. But it comes with one drawback. It tries to juggle it with the tone it has for Out of Place, which I think is a hindrance to the song. Initially, I had this a lot higher, but on re-listen, I kind of was able to see its flaws. But on the plus side, I was not expecting another Titanosaurus song. If anything, they could have just gone with the fact that Titanosaurus just doesn't exist. That's what happens in the original creepypasta, but no, they took the game's approach and now throws a skeleton, which is why I chose that Jurassic World clip. Poor Spinosaurus. At least it's in Rebirth, and there's 3 of them. Anyways, it tries to juggle that somber and extremely hard Sega Genesis tone that is in Out of Place, but it doesn't really land either of them all too well, which is why it's stuck in A tier. But regardless, I really do think Stray is a pretty good song. Because, one, how can you not love more Titanosaurus? Like, Bro is nonetheless the poster child for this mod, and has been since its creation 3 years ago with Out of Place. God. I don't want this to be a Out of Place circle jerk for the next few minutes. So, I am also going to go over a few of my dislikes for this song. Number 1, when playing as Mothra, there's a point where you can hear Godzilla's roar instead of Mothra's roar, which, to me, is kind of emblematic of the mod itself. I'll get into this later, but Mothra gets shafted in this mod, especially this update, because a lot of the songs just feel like just slapping Mothra's vocals on top of Godzilla. And I'll have a solution for this later on in the video when we get to Mothra's best songs. But regardless, I do think Mothra needs a lot of work, because if you're going to have Moonbeast coming up later, you're going to need to fix up Mothra. Another thing I like about the song, though, is just I really love the visuals, because they change so much. You got Titanosaurus as a yellow skeleton, and as a blue skeleton. Then you got Godzilla as a skeleton, and now it turns into a mecha skeleton. It's not actually metal, but it looks like it. It's got a really cool metal texture. Alright, I just had to cut out a rant about me wanting to make a dinosaur mod. Sorry about that. Anyways, back to the song. It's got amazing visuals. I love how it's place in the story. What I'm trying to say is that I really, really like Titanosaurus, and that you'll be seeing it later in the video. Yeah, you like that little lead into the ranking part? Proud of that. I just had to use the Shinosaurus getting high off a mushroom from Dinosaur Revolution. I may be media illiterate and haven't seen a lot of Godzilla media, but I make up for it for my absolute interest in dinosaur media. You're welcome. Anyways, Boletus Mon is the best example I have for Matango's chromatic at its peak. It is godly in this song. It is the only reason why it's right up in S tier. And I also have to say, it does not have any of the shortcomings that stop others like Spawn, Tryptophobia, Forlorn Colossus from ranking higher. Because it's got the really good chromatic, it's paced well, it doesn't sound like absolute dog water, and best of all, it goes hard throughout its 2.5 minute runtime. Let alone the fact that it goes for 2.5 minutes instead of having like 30 seconds at the start and back. It's so good, and honestly, the fact that the instrumental kind of sounds like Matango makes it feel like it's getting background vocals from other Matango that you can't see because of the screen. It's kind of funny. I swear it's funny. My favorite part about this song is not only the fact that it uses the chromatic well, but also just that vibe. It's that spacey alien vibe. Because yes, you are in space. This is a Mars song. This is not Earth, this is Mars. Nonetheless, Boletus Mons nails everything that I wanted to see out of Matango since I saw Spawn on Earth. Zephyr Mars Mix is everything that Zephyr Earth wishes it could be. Honestly, I do not like dunking on Zephyr Earth Mix because it's very clearly just a remix of Zephyr Mars Mix. But I have to anyways because they're two different songs. And honestly, the list would just feel less complete, and I wanted to use that Simpsons joke. Just let me have this, guys. Anyways, yes, Zephyr Mars Mix fixes all of the problems that I had with the original Zephyr on Earth. It is, one, it is extended by a good 30 seconds to around a minute. And two, I honestly think it sounds better in this mix. And, like, bruh, it's just a better version of Zephyr in every way from Earth Mix. I just love it so much. Like, it's got all of the pros and none of the cons. The pros being, it's got a bopping instrumental, it's got killer visuals. I just love the way that Dagora looks. For people who are not in the know, Dagora is a cell monster that comes from space and is very big, and it's also owned by Toho, which owns Godzilla. So, I mean, I guess that's it. What else do I say? It's a giant cell monster that I haven't watched in a movie, like, ever. And this is my first experience with it. I'm not a nerd, I'm just a dinosaur nerd. I got that dinosaur autism, not the Godzilla autism like other people. Anyways, Zephyr Earth mix is nothing in compared to Zephyr Mars mix, because Mars mix just has that vibe that was kind of lacking in Zephyr Earth mix. I feel like I'm gonna go insane with all of this talk of Zephyr. And now we have Bad Omen, the second of Gizora's songs, and God, it's just so good. It starts off on this incredibly eerie and unsettling note, and I can only describe it as, you know something is wrong, you are helpless to do anything about it. And onwards in the mod, story-wise, that point is made clear so well. And I should probably also note that, chromatic-wise, Godzilla is probably at part of his best here. He sounds so good, meshes so well with Ghidorah, as I said in Amoeba. And, God, it's just, in this song, Gizora's chromatic, it sounds like it's starting to cry, like it's in absolute pain. And then it's got like the title chromatic, or the title motif. It starts playing that over and over again, which I kind of never recognized that it's the title screen motif, but Gizora starts tweaking the hell out. And now you got all that breathtaking visual effect with its eye just copied and pasted over like dimensions that you are unable to see or fully grasp. And then Gizora's sprite work just outlining the entire stadium that you're playing in. It's like it's just becoming one with the game, bro. This song is just breathtaking.
Okay, Tiny Dude is big now. He's big now.
Speaking of the word bad, now we have Bad Signal. I swear I didn't do this on purpose. Anyways, yes, that bad, uneasy, impending doom type beat translates right back into itself with Bad Signal. Because, like, it's perfect, really. You go right from Bad Omen to Bad Signal. Perfect. And just, these songs just do pair so well together. Like, they kind of deserve to be right next to each other in every instance. What is different about Bad Signal than in Bad Omen specifically is that that sense of panic is more prevalent here than in Bad Omen. Mainly because, one, immediately you can tell that something is off, with the sole thing being the sprite work for Maguire being absolutely titanic. And something about just Maguire having the same animation set as in Mysterion, just upscaled to a ungodly degree, has just makes it feel a lot less intentional and thus a lot more intentional. Whatever. That the back and forth between Maguire and Godzilla goes so hard, and just I don't say it as much, but yes, Maguire does have a damn good chromatic, and that is especially prevalent here and especially later. Anyways, that wind down into Maguire's name call, bro, that hits hard. I was not expecting that. Like, I'm pretty sure that's something new that was only shown at the preview in the Earth update, which we'll get to that Earth update later, the streamer build. And then it goes into its glitchy form and it's got an entirely different animation set because, God, they put in so much work to all the little details of this mod, but then somehow let Tryptophobia slide under the radar for some reason. I mean, to be fair, their priorities were laying in somewhere else, so I guess that's acceptable. Anyways, that wind down at the end of Bad Signal just feels so earned.
According to all known laws of aviation, there's no way
Varin
should be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground.
Varin
Of course, flies anyway, because
Varin
don't care what humans think is impossible.
There is no way in hell I am leaving the unbelievable destroyer out of S tier. Who do you think I am? Some degenerate? Hell nah. Varin, his song goes so hard. I'm gonna be real with you. I had to look up how to get to this song. But to be fair, how was I supposed to know you were supposed to go up to encounter Varin instead of the normal path that I just clearly couldn't see because it was invisible? God. Anyways, my only problem with this song aside, other than the fact that Varin looks unfinished, I swear, Varin looks like he has come straight out of the game itself. Like, that is supposed to be a bad thing, not a good thing. Other monsters, like, for example, Biolante in Dead Cells, Gizora, Maguire, every other monster feels like it's gotten some kind of facelift, except for Varin. And I know that Varin is gonna have more songs later on, because the story says so! Oh my god. Just please, update Varin sprites. My boy does not deserve this. Anyways, as for the song itself, that intro sequence goes in! There's a reason why this song is like one of 2 new songs to get one of those instrumental classic DDR Mania songs, because it's just so good. Part of that is just like, another thing is that those beat drops that happen like twice in the song go so hard. Like when the when the judgment line for the game moves down, I am hyper focused on that. I am try-harding in that exact instance. What you are seeing now is a visual representation of me trying my ass off to give you guys the proper experience without having to scooch it off of community games. I just really just like the vibe of this song. For some reason, it does that hard metal vibe so much better than Massive Nuclear Aggressors. I hate to keep stomping on a dead horse, but That's what I mean. That's what I mean by you need to want your song to go hard first and then form the vocals around it. Because that's exactly what happens here. You have a song that goes absolutely in every aspect. Like, there's a reason why this was like one of two songs that gets foreshadowed. And I mean, sure, the other song is Forlorn Colossus, but I mean, that one can be fixed. We can fix that. Unbelievable Destroyer is just such a great song. And if there were sub tiers, this would be an S plus tier. This would be the barrier between S plus and S minus.
The rap battle was so intense it caused my NES to explode. I worked the game. What a dick.
Deus Ex Machina, the second joke song on this list, and possibly the best joke song on this list. That'll be left to future updates to decide. But Deus Ex Machina goes really hard, and in some aspects, I kind of prefer it over Red Killer as the de facto Red song, which is funny because in this specific song, it's supposed to be a play on a joke made by the creator, who created a new ending for people who were not happy with the ending he originally created. And to that I say based. And also, why John Madden? Why is John Madden the enemy? And why is Godzilla a finger puppet? I'm getting ahead of myself. I just really like this song. I don't really have any reason other than I like the music, I like the sounds, and I like the joke. The hardest song for me to clear fully, mainly because of all the instrument-only sections, which I also just really like because, God, I like the instruments. Like, starts out with John Madden playing the keyboard, but apparently you have to dance to it, so dance or die, as it says on the TV. Then it goes on a little bit, then it's back to normal singing, and then John Madden, the G himself, whips out the Mega Man X electric guitar. And, bro, I don't talk about it. I love Mega Man X, especially its music. Straight up one of the best video game soundtracks of all time. If you don't agree with me, a certain guy named Aaron Hansen might disagree with that statement. Anyways, then you got Godzilla retaliating on his regular ass guitar. And then once you beat John Madden in a guitar playing rap battle face off, you then have all of the jokes that the developers wanted to throw in, because you got a Titanosaurus picture, you got Solomon, you got Warlock from Replay. We'll get into Replay later, goddammit. You got a bunch of the devs on there. You got so much in there. And what else do I want to say? Oh yeah, Melissa's dancing on the jukebox. That's very funny, and I wish we could have that in regular gameplay. Other than that, I do really like Deus Ex Machina against all odds. Also, fellow shotgun fans, you may also now rejoice because, yes, there is a shotgun. You are not ready for what I have to say about Wilting. Wilting is so good. God. If it was Wilting followed by Dead Cells, I would definitely think that Wilting was the best song in this week. But thankfully, we have BioWar later. Anyways, oh, Wilting is so good. I love Biolante's chromatic. I love its animations. I love the fact that it's a plant. I love the fact that they changed its sprites from the original game. I love the fact that it's in this game. Oh, I love it so much. And this is even the peak of my Biolante love. Oh, you will see it later. You will taste my wrath. Onto Wilting. I really like Biolante's plant form chromatic. Because, yes, it's a plant. What noise does it make? But, like, they pull it off so well. But, I mean, I also gotta complain about the fact that sometimes it does fade into the instrumental a little bit. And to that, it does have a few issues there. But I also have to say that when you can hear it, ooh baby, is it good. Another thing that I like about Wilting is just, it's got some really, really nice melodies. I think it's got the title screen, but it's remixed. And God, it sounds so good. I also just love Biolante's design here. I just love the little plant heads. I love that in the middle of the song, you can see its mouth open up. It's so cool. Ugh. I just love it so much.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Film Theory, the show that has the world's best imitation of the Godzilla roar.
Chat, I regret to tell you this, but there was a low point in my life where I did not see the majesty that is First Instance. I have now reflected on my past actions, I have moved on, and I am proud to say that now I am a better person than I was 2 years ago. Anyways, bro, First Instance is really, really good. It goes so hard. It is a great song. when you ignore the people who are screaming into your ear saying that, I don't like how spammy it is. I can't tell if someone's singing or not. Like, bro, does that matter? It is so experimental, and I love it for it. I love people experimenting with different vocals, and I love it even more when it works. Ugh. Some of my favorite FNF songs are songs that don't conform to the established norm set by the FNF Dead team or people who make popular mods. Like, the entire genre of FNF music is built off people trying new things, and it just fits so well with my defense of First Instance being so good. For starters, instrumental fire. There's a reason why it is also one of the few songs to have instrumental tracks that are playable. The visuals. I really like the old grainy Godzilla footage that they use from the Showa era, and I don't know, do they use Heisei era footage in there? I can't tell. Regardless, I really do think First Instance is just really cool in just how it just sends you in that creep factor, and it just works so well. I am unnerved by just how creepy and grainy, and my favorite part about this song is that it got extended. It got reworked and extended, and it solved all my issues I had with it before. I love just how raw that last part sounds because it just goes ham on it. God, First Instance is just so underrated. Like, it is just that good. Paramnesia is goated with the primordial sauce. I want to add in before I start talking about the song is that I really like the gameplay segment that they put in right before the song starts. Like, first of all, it kind of sets up Paramnesia pretty well because you got the cave paintings and the gameplay before the song, and you got cave paintings in the song itself. Another thing that it does is it sets up for Red Killer really well. It familiarizes you with the controls, so when Red starts beating the shit out of you, you are not a sitting duck for the first attempt. You can at least try and fight back, and then people who are unfamiliar with the game of the mod are caught lacking, like I was. I had to beat Red Killer with Mothra. Anyways, yes, Paramnesia is goated. I would like to add that Paramnesia was in development years ago. So, guys, if you go back on Lifer's channel and you check out the original draft for Paramnesia, you can see just how much changed between that original cut and now. And bro, it makes a world of difference. God, I love when the cave paintings of the past and future opponents just flash ahead of you, because you got monsters like not Varan, Mechagodzilla, not Mechagodzilla, Violante, which you fight a little bit later afterwards. It's just so good. I love it so much. You even got the face. There's a really good fan-made face song, and you should take a listen to it. I'll probably snap up a picture and put it in the video. This in the song is the best Godzilla and Ghidorah have ever sounded. I'd also like to add that there are motifs in here that go hard. There are, bro. I'd have to explain to you what paramnesia is, but I don't have that much time because the song is only like 3 minutes long. It's just an amazing song. Even the instrumental is amazing. Distorted Memory as the instrumental song name just fits so well. God, Paramnesia is just so good. And I hate to do it to it, but the next song is, well, I'm afraid to say it, but I think you will be able to guess just by the sound of my voice and the prior rankings, especially the rankings between two specific monsters.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
That's right. 3 times in a row, a hat trick of Gizora defenders being put in their grave because, yep, I really did just rank Maguera above Gizora 3 times in a row. Alamnesia is a really, really great song, and I love it. I'll get into a lot of it later, but first I need to do some complaining. 4 minutes? You're gonna make me play a song for 4 minutes? That's one of the longest songs in this mod. God. This better be good. Spoiler alert, if it's above Paramnesia, it's probably really, really good. That mechanized feel that I alluded to earlier with Mysterion and Bad Signal is in full force here at the start of Alamnesia. And it is just that beat taken form that really just makes the start of Alamnesia feel so special to me. Like, even the vocals of not Maguera, I don't know if I should dead name Maguera. It's kind of a hard thing to separate between, but whatever. Maguera just sounds so well with that mechanized beat going on. It is just so good. Those lyrics are just so good. I remember watching a video where someone was complaining about Trumbo's vocals, and I'll tell you what, Alamnesia is the clear winner when it comes to this. The vocals here are done so much better justice than they are in that certain video. I don't know, you'd have to be an all-star to guess where this video is. It's so good, and then you got the just flat vocal performance that just, it doesn't go with the vocals, but it still just feels like you're hearing what Maguera is saying. And you know, it's kind of natural. I kind of see why you'd see Maguera being the only monster to speak. Why? It's a robot. Robots can speak in this universe. It's got a better chance of speaking than the giant squid and giant lizard and giant moth person. Whatever. Regardless, bro, it's so good, especially the part that leads out of the vocal range. There is just so many points in this song where I am just loving it just all the way. And it is just so catchy. It just flows so well with each other. And like, you can really just separate so many instances of the song because like it's just so segmented, like a machine, like the mechanical processes. It's like part 1, part 2, part 3, and they flow together seamlessly that you are really just unable to tell. It is so good, especially that last bit where Lifer just takes over. If you watch the Alamesia music video and you go exactly to the spot, you'll see Lifer's name up in the corner telling you that this is the real deal. It's so good. I love it so much. This was definitely worth disappointing so many Ghidorah fans, but you know what? I'll take the pipe bombs in my mailbox. In the case that you are not interested in watching me try to stumble through my words and talk about how good this song is, I'm praising this song because its vocals are good, Maguire is really good, Godzilla is pretty good, the instrumental goes hard, every part of the song just has its unique feel but still meshed together so well. And a few things I didn't cover, the backgrounds are dope. I love how it sets up for both Unbelievable Destroyer and for Forlorn Colossus. And God, I just really like this song. It is fantastic. Speaking of pipe bombs, I expect multiple bombs in my mailbox after I tell you guys that I stopped Red Killer from getting into the SS tier. But it's for a good reason, and by good I mean not very good because it's opinionated and people will disagree with that. I just have a few problems with this song. But to end this on a low note and for you guys to actually listen to my opinions, I will start off with what I love about this song. I love the vocals for the most part. Red is very, very intimidating throughout the majority of the song. And so is Godzilla. Godzilla feels like he's actually struggling to fight against Red. Especially at the start where he kind of sounds like a Velociraptor, if I'm going to be totally honest. I'm so dinosaur pissed. You can't escape it. Another thing I like about this song in particular is the level of art in this song. The background, the cave painting scene in its entirety. All 4 different sprites that Red has. And even Godzilla kind of gets a few extra sprites. Especially with that cave painting sequence. You switch from Battle Space, which has Godzilla slightly facing the camera, to to Assault Space, where Godzilla is directly facing his opponent, and then you got the cave painting scene where you're actually slightly behind Godzilla, and Red is almost facing you, but both of them are at a slight angle. It still gives the illusion of Godzilla facing Red from left to right. Regardless, bro, this song is just really, really good, but what kills it for me is just the tone of the song, and my thoughts of it just not hitting as hard as it should be. I know that a lot of people really love this song. Hell, when they were giving out like awards for best song of the month of October, Red Killer got like a bunch of accolades, and in my opinion, maybe didn't really deserve all of them. Like, in my opinion, there are a bunch of other mods that those awards could have gone to, but I digress. I don't want to bring Twitter drama onto this site. I'm too good for that. I moved to Blue Sky. Regardless, Red Killer is a really good song. It should hit all of those right points for me, but for some reason it just doesn't. And I think I actually do know that reason. There is a song on Pathos that I played before Red Killer. The reason being that I knew that I'd have to play through the entire game again, or at least the entire board, to get back to all of those songs. And I had to unlock them all for the free play, so I could play them all whenever I wanted to, instead of having to go through a checkerboard of monster fights. Regardless, one of those songs were so good, and you'll see it later when I go over 2 of the 6 SS tier songs, that in hindsight kind of ruined Red Killer for me on complete accident. So I'll have to explain myself there, but for now, I just want you to know that I really do like Red Killer. It is a phenomenal song through and through. It just wasn't good enough for me to put it in SST. To recap, the pros of Red Killer for me, it sounds really cool. I like the art. I kind of like the pacing of the song itself. And God, it just sounds so cool. The voices, the beat itself, I just love how heavy the drums go. As for the cons of this song, I do not like its rolling story. I shouldn't say it like that. What I don't like is the tone it has in comparison to the rest of the story. And con, it came after a song I really liked and kind of got manhandled by it in retaliation. So, yeah, that's Red Killer. And that is the last of S tier, which only leaves 6 more songs.
Oh! Hi, Mr.
Titanosaurus.
You're not supposed to be here.
And to start us off in the SS tier, we have Out of Place. Now, why did I rank Out of Place in SS tier while ranking Red Killer 1 spot below it in S tier? I have one key reason, and that is its impact on the mod. Out of Place, now I'm not talking meta-narrative stuff, I'm talking about the impact within the universe of the song. Out of Place is so great. It is a phenomenal song, even 3 years later with little changes. The only kind of update it gets is visual updates and a Mothra cover, which, we'll get back to Mothra covers later in the list. Just you wait. Regardless, Out of Place is just a phenomenal song that I just don't know how to put into words. One aspect of the song that I greatly appreciate is the change in vocals that happens throughout the song. Not only do you have the audible difference between Titanosaurus and Godzilla's chromatic, one being reminiscent of NES games, while the other is more Sega Genesis based. But you also just get casual like fade-ins and fade-outs with the vocals, and like when they just come in and out of focus, it just hits the song so much more. The visual effects of the background with the flashing red or the Red Sea background, I'm not too sure what type of environment it's depicting, but I am just going to assume that it's a red ocean, because Godzilla and Titanosaurus are both monsters that originate from the water, and that's just cool to see. They're fighting each other at their strongest when they're in the same environment. Regardless, Out of Place is just such a good song, and there's just so many points that I just love it. Again, I just need to clarify, I love this song because it just tickles my brain. It hits so hard, and it goes so hard for the entire song. Not once do I think that spot's kind of bad, because none of it is bad. It's all so damn good, and for that, I can only give it a rank of SS tier. This spot especially, and especially, is just so good. You just love how like hard it just goes, and it just goes off with a bang. There's no dramatic flair like in Alamuja where you're watching someone die. Titanosaurus is going to fight you, and it's going down fighting. I just love it so much. Alright, I got a lot of time with this one. The intro sequence to Remnant takes a while to get started. But on the topic of Remnant, it is phenomenal. For once, Gizora gets a song and does not have to compete with that metal bastard. In all honesty, I feel like this is the only instance where I'm going to rank Gizora above Maguera in any way, shape, or form. Because in the next update that's eventually going to come out, I'm pretty sure there is another Not Maguera song. So we'll see that coming up soon. Not to mention the fact that we'll have to face down Chimera eventually, but regardless, this is the one time where Gizora will finally beat out Maguera on this list. Anyways, I love the way that Remnant looks. The entire planet drenched in the red dust that you see in Bad Omen. It's just so cool. It is visually striking, and just to see Gizora just becoming one with its environment, becoming one with the landscape, and subjected to nothing more than a simple enemy. It's just so good. And then this is one of two songs in this tier that switches from the Assault animation set and the Battle animation set. And you'll see that right when the song starts picking up. And if I had to decide between the two animation sets, I like Godzilla's animation set in the Assault stages more than I like it in every other stage. But I like Gizora's animation set in the Battle space more than its Assault space animation. Regardless, song is phenomenal. This song just has so many motifs to other songs throughout the mod, like Amoeba and Bad Omen, and then and then later, when you're in the void now, because you got swallowed by a black hole. And I just gotta say, how did they do that? How are you able to put an entire in-game event where you are being swallowed by a black hole mid-fight? Like, that is just visually insane. It's crazy. They did so much work for all of Gizora's songs. I just love it. Anyways, I was going to say, midway through post Black Hole, Gizora starts to have this shadow behind it, and at a further look, you'll never guess who it is. It's not Gizora. You get foreshadowed for Paramnesia midway through this song, and I love it. And it's got a very similar chromatic to Not Gizora too. It's spoiling you on the song, and you love it for it. You have no choice but to appreciate the reference. It's so good, and like it doesn't, and it even that from that point onward, it just doesn't use the chromatic from Gizora's original appearance. Now it just uses the Not Gizora chromatic, and it's so good. Pace is great. Everything else about this song is just great. I love it so much. And now we have Collision. Easily the best song on Earth. And it is not even a contest for me. I don't even remember the second best song of Earth. That's how good Collision is. Honestly, Collision is so good, I don't even know if it should qualify as an Earth song. All it is just there by association. Regardless, I love the way that Kong sounds in both parts of this song. It just sounds so, like, intelligent, but also still a wild animal. And another thing I love about the song is just how much it takes from Donkey Kong Country. The background, the instrumental, just even Godzilla's vocals itself. It just takes so much from that other famous awesome monkey. Yes, I do love Donkey Kong. Second favorite Mario character, right behind Bowser. Regardless, once you get 2.5 bars down in the song, that's when shit gets real, and it is so good. Like, it still has that vibe of Donkey Kong Country, but it is pumped up, you know? And like, even for this short while when it's at its minimum, it goes right back into it. And from this point on, this song goes from great to phenomenal. I just love so much about this song. Another thing I love is Kong's animations. At the start of the song, they're really nothing special, but once Kong starts to glitch out, he looks so good. I just love his poses. They're so dynamic. I love dynamic key poses. You can tell that I am an artist because I am geeking out above all of the art. Speaking of art, the background is insane. In a world where you are blessed to even see more than 3 colors, you got an entire tapestry with Kong, Godzilla, and all of those chained monsters in the background. Oh, it's so good. And then you got this build-up all the way towards the climax of the song in like a good few seconds. God, I just love how hard the drums go in the song too. The drums go in. I'm a big fan of drums. And now you got the best part of the song when Kong Killer shows up and takes this and hijacks the hell out of this song. I think Kong Killer's synthesis in this song is really what put it in SS tier, at least this high in SS, because I cannot think of this song without Kong Killer's motif anywhere. It is so good, and then he dies, but you know, he served his purpose. It's really just luck of the draw. Regardless, I love it. I love that this entire song is just a reference to NES Godzilla Replay, because you got the Sin Demon, you got Kong Killer, you got Kong. Kong shows up in Replay, but you wouldn't know that because you don't know what Replay is. And then Kong disintegrates, the song ends, and depending on whether or not Kong Killer dies, he might die here. Just what a phenomenal song.
Arthur, get out of the tank.
You're not my dad.
Get out of the fucking tank. I am your dad.
You're not my dad.
I am your dad. Get out of the fucking
I'm in a tank and you're not.
I will call
I'm
Mr.
literally
Middleton.
in
Get
a
out of the fucking tank.
I'm literally in a tank. You're
Get
not.
out of the
You're not my dad.
Literally get out of the tank.
Look, tell Major Middleton. I don't give a fuck.
Get out of the fucking tank.
No.
And at number 3, we have Metal March. This song wastes no time in getting right into the action. One aspect that I like about this song is that you can see Goten and some other alien airship racing each other in the background. That's a neat touch. Another neat touch is with the background itself. I just love the gray, rocky background pulsating red to the beat. It's just really cool and such a nice touch. Anyways, on to Tankzilla. It's so funny just seeing Tankzilla in this mod. Its voice actually sounds so good, like to an unsettling degree. Like you would not expect a tank to have this kind of chromatic, but it does, and I love it. And all of the melodies that it has are pretty cool. Like, sure, some of them are repeated a lot, and some of them may even be a bit spammy, but it's nothing that isn't audibly bad. And during times, I do find myself really just jamming out to this song, which is why I ranked it so high. I just have an unnatural amount of love for this song. Another surprise to the song is the introduction of Mothplane. This was not a character I was expecting to get in here, but I love it anyways. Mothplane's voice, while I was a bit turned off by it at first, thinking it sounded a bit too human, I kind of grew around to it because still, it sounds just really nice. The biggest shocker to me about this song is the inclusion of Mothra's theme here. And like, as we'll see later, this is the only time we get to see anything like the original themes for Mothra or Godzilla in any of these songs. Like, we'll see a lot of references, like, for example, the main theme getting repeated, or etc, stuff I'm forgetting. But as we see here, like, this song just integrates those melodies just so well without ever really feeling out of place, just a slight sidestep on the path it takes throughout the song. And I just love how Tankzilla and Mothplane are always duetting from this point out. Their voices just fit so well with one another. And now we have Godzilla's theme. Finally, we have a song that uses Godzilla's theme, and it's just so good. I just love this song.
If that one Moth character from Fortnite was like, I don't know, really toned or something, I could see it.
Think about what you're about to say.
Throughout this mod, I have been greatly alluding to the fact that I would cover Mothra's mixes. And that is because, honestly, most of the mixes that Mothra has are pretty mid, all things considered. They are very blatantly just recharts of Godzilla's songs. And I kind of really thought that they didn't like Mothra in this mod. Kind of like how Zack didn't like Mothra in the original story. But what gave me hope, ironically, is Hope Eater. Because this is the potential that Mothra's chromatic has in this mod. Mothra sounds absolutely phenomenal in this song and in this song only. There are a few other exceptions that I'll cover shortly, but God, I just love how this song uses Mothra's chromatic. And it just pairs especially nice with Beaker. Apparently, according to the people who made the Godzilla NES creepypasta game, this is supposed to be a reference to the original creator of the creepypasta, the original story creator. And I think that's pretty cool, and also pretty funny. It's supposed to be a reference to their profile picture. We'll see that later when I cover it in the credits. But regardless, Hope Eater is just a phenomenal song. Every part of it just feels so new, so good. And for a while, this was my #1 song throughout the entire mod. And I was half tempted to prove all of the naysayers wrong and rank it as #1. But I just love one singular song even more. Regardless, Hope Eater, what it does is absolutely phenomenal. It just sounds so cool. The instrumental just gives off that ethereal, astral presence that you'd expect from a song that takes place in a void-like space region. The background and the planet surface being entirely glitchy, making it look unfinished. That one ring-like enemy that appears and starts rapping the shit out of you. It's so good. Like, every part of this song just feels like it has a great purpose. And unlike any shorter songs like or Metal March, this one is almost 5 minutes in length. So it has enough time to fully flesh out its beats. It's so good. And even if there are some aspects of the song that are kind of reused, it doesn't completely reuse them. It just uses them in a different way, with like a different instrumental backing or different charting or different vocal ranges. It is so good. What I hope to see in the future of this mod are songs where Mothra does have something different from Godzilla. Because we have Moonbeast coming up later, and at least that one is going to be a Mothra exclusive. But, God, if Mothra got like her own charting differences, if Mothra got her own like singing style that we can see throughout the course of the song, that would be amazing. But I do recognize that is an insane amount of work for these already swamped developers to do for free. Regardless, this entire song should be just a testament to the potential that Mothra holds. And I just can't wait to see what they do with Mothra in the future. And overall, this song alone is just phenomenal. This is just one of the best songs in the mod. And if you don't think so, I'm sorry, but you are just wrong. Unfortunately, I just think one song is better. Now that we've reached the best song in the mod, I'd like to quickly go over the things I do like about this mod and the things I don't like about these songs. Starting off with the bad stuff, we have songs that are just inherently flawed. We have songs that are only half-baked. We have songs that really only count as like half of a song. Songs with terrible chromatics. And songs that are just too short all around. On the contrary, in SS tier, we have songs that are just really good, that go all whole notes bards and no gas, all pedal. We got songs that are just chock full of great art. We have songs that are just full of references. We got songs that use a lot of motifs throughout the mod. And we got songs that show Mothra some love. What song am I thinking of that has all of these qualities? There's only one song. BioWare defies all.
I'm like a goddamn gigolo ready to burst, and she's saying no, 3 more minutes at least.
That is right. Throughout this entire video, I have been alluding to BioWare's Warpath up this list. First taking out Dead Cells just because it has a much better chromatic in both versions of this song. We'll get to that later. Then it took out Red Killer as my favorite song on Pathos, and subsequently ruining the song for me because it is just such a better climatic opening than Red Killer ever wish it could be in my eyes. And then all the way through the top of S tier, even dethroning Hope Beater for me. I'll tell you, if I had made this song 4 months ago when this mod first came out, I would have put BioWare much lower, but as just time has gone on, my love for this song has only grown. It has grown to the point where I made a Biollante model just so I could 3D print it and put it on my setup. That's how much I love this song. This song got me to watch Godzilla vs. Biollante, you know, the movie where Biollante came from. I just love this song so much. On the topic of the song, there are just so many good moments. This moment here, when like Godzilla is fighting it in like 2D space, that's such a neat touch. I love it so much. This is what I mean. It just does this better than Red Killer. It does this better than Remnant. It does it better than any other song. I just love it so much. There is absolutely no downtime in this song, and I love it. And my favorite part of this entire mod is this sequence right here, where Biollante just pops off. And Godzilla just sounds phenomenal in this song too. And I just love how just Pathos just lights up in a field of flowers, just blooms, because I just love it so much. And then it just, the wind down with Biollante's final pop off as the song just winds down. I just love it so much. You got the pedals flowing in the background still from that last scene. And God, I can talk about this song all day. And yep, there it is. There's a reference. I'll tell you what, it's better executed here than it could ever wish it would be in the movie. Anyways, I love this song so much that I'll play the Mothra mix for you. This Mothra mix is actually good, which is unheard of for the rest of the Mothra mixes in this song, because it sounds so different. Biollante has no grudges against Mothra, but she holds everything against Godzilla. if you guys don't know the story of Biolante, it is actually a hybrid between Godzilla, Roses, and some scientist guy's dead daughter, which is the face that you see at the end of the song. And I just love how they just reference that throughout this entire mod. Another thing, if you have seen Godzilla vs. Biolante, you would be familiar with a track called Bio Wars, which, spoiler alert, this song is named after. Bio Wars is just a phenomenal song all around as well, but it holds no candle to this song for me. And it uses motifs from Bio Wars in the start of this song, and in the end too. It's just so good, and I love it so much. And in some aspects, you can even... I just love all the small details. Love the vines that Biolante is just wielding all around. I just love the setting. It's in a lake. Biolante and Godzilla fight in a lake in their first battle. So good. And, what else? I'm just crunched for time with this song. It's only under 3 minutes, which is why, bro, it couldn't even last 3 minutes. I feel so bad. That's why I had to use that Game Grumps bit. I just had to. I just love this song. There are just so many good melodies throughout this entire song that I just keep on thinking about on a daily basis. I cry to this song sometimes. You can't say you can't cry to a song and rank it anywhere other than the top of your list. For real though, this mod is just an absolute masterpiece. I know I do shit on a bunch of things like the bottom 4 songs, like over and over again, but I mean, overall, the song, it is greater than the sum of its parts. This mod is just a testament to how far this modding community could go, given the resources, given the chance to thrive. And I just love it all so much. And now with the ranking out of the way, we have the tier list. And another thing I wanted to do specifically for this video was kind of compare each of the planets and Freeplay to each other. Because, I mean, who doesn't like another arbitrary list with a strict set of rules? So, as it goes, we go up the list and the grades will be accounted accordingly. F tier gets -1 point. D tier gets 0, C gets 1, B gets 2, A gets 3, S gets 4, and SS gets 5 points. With that out of the way, in last place we have Earth with 6 songs totaling 14 points, so each song has an average score of 2.3 repeating. In third place we have Freeplay with 5 songs averaging 12 points, averaging out to a slightly higher 2.4 points per song. In second place, we have Pathos with a total of 11 songs, 36 points total, but only 3.3 points per song. And at number 1, we have Mars with only 8 songs, totaling at around 31 points, and averaging out to a score of 3.9. Dang, what a great mod. There may have been some low points, but all in all, I really do think that this mod is one of the best mods to come out of FNF. Better than even popular mods like Mario's Madness, and especially better than some of those bargain bin child bait mods like Sonic.exe and all of its clones. And honestly, I just wish that there were more mods that cover obscure topics rather than just rehashing Sonic all over again. The only other dinosaur-related mod is that one Jurassic Park T-Rex mod, and honestly, I hate it. I hate that song, and I hate that dinosaur mods are just such an untapped potential. Regardless, kudos to everyone in this mod team who had a hand in the making of this mod, because all of them did a phenomenal job, and I think that their work and effort really does show. And wait. Oh right, I forgot to cover To Scratch, the song that was retconned out of existence as of Pathos. The song itself, I think, is fine. In fact, I actually think it's pretty good. I placed it in A tier. But it's the effect that this song has had on Friday Night Monster of Monsters is, to put in simple terms, an assassination. Like, it's one thing when you make a joke song, it's another thing when Community Games uses that joke song in the cover of their video and ruins people's perception of the mod itself. It's just so sad. But unfortunately, I do think that To Scratch is a pretty good joke song. Because yes, Sonic.exe cringe will always be funny. But this song kind of just does it better than Sonic.exe. For starters, the art style is pretty good. I like the way that Scratch the Godzilla looks. And again, this is one of the few songs in this mod with Boyfriend in it. Even though it's now not in the mod because, well, it's not in the mod anymore. Regardless, I think just the reuse of simple beats from like the NES game really goes a long way, and kind of just really hammers in how good a lot of the melodies from this mod are. Also, the part where Godzilla kills girlfriend is just funny. Like, what is a demon to a god? What, nonetheless, just peak comedy right here. Like, the cover theme is great. Like, simple battle themes. You see a lot of just rehashed melodies in here, and they're all combined very well. Even if you've heard them before, it just combines them in a new and interesting way. It's nothing special. I didn't rank it in S tier. It's just a pretty good song. And, you know, I wouldn't mind listening to it on occasion. It's not like it's actively bad, like Too Slow, or Milk, or anything else of the same ilk. Nonetheless, pretty good song. And, you know, part of me is sad that it's not in the mod anymore, but another part of me is like, you know, it's kind of deserved. I wouldn't want a stain on my masterpiece, you know. Regardless, A tier. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, again, I'd just like to clarify that this is a phenomenal mod and you should all play it, or at least listen to the soundtrack. And if there are any members of the development team watching this far, I have a few suggestions. One, get all of your musicians to put their songs up on any platform, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, whatever, because these are most of these songs are just really good regardless of how I rank them. And well, just I don't want other people to get credit or just to get confused with unofficial uploads. I mean, I'd want all of my artists to get credit for their phenomenal work. And also in your credit sequence, at least write down what people worked on what songs. In the case that anyone else is wondering if I'm going to do any more rankings, I am not doing any more FNF rankings unless it's about mods that I really like and people just do not want to cover. For example, there's that really cool Jesus mod. But if I were to do other types of videos, I'd probably just start reviewing dinosaur media. I'd really want to cover Dinosaur Planet, very peak documentary. Regardless, that's all I got, so until next time, I will see you in years. Who knows? Bye.